Kayo, pagkain kayo ng kain, ano nangyari sa inyo? Lalaki na kayo. Nabumunga kayo? Di ba? Yung sobra ng tanim, tawag dun bunga. When you give them away, katulad si Eddie, like Eddie, he always gives away his fruit, no? When you give them away, everybody happy. Kayo, pag pinamigay niyo sobra niyo, ano tawag sa sobra niyo? Tawag sa sobra niyo, bilbil. Pag pinamigay mo, happy, iba? Sabihin na, no, I don't like that. Marami ako niyan. Diba? Now, on the other hand, if fruitfulness is about making children, ang tanong ko, bakit babae lang ang pwedeng mga anak? You see, the command was given to man and to woman, regardless of whether they are married or not. It was given to them. So, babae lang ang pwedeng mga anak. So, dapat sana pati lalaki. So, my question to the men here, sino sa inyo gusto makasubok mga anak? Anybody? Wala? You know, even if you have your sex change, di ba? Maging transgender kayo, hindi kayo manganganak. Because you're a man. And I really believe that's the irony of this transgender thing. You were born a man, you want to become a woman, but at the end of the day, you're still a man. Kasi hindi ka pwede manganak. Di ba? You're a woman, you want to be a man. Even if you have your sex change, you're still a woman. And this is a foolish thing that man wants to do. Why? Because they don't want to accept what God has given them. And so that's the reason why we get into trouble. Genesis 1:28 was the first command. And I realized in that verse, God was giving us a model of how He wants us to live our life. Sabi niya, be fruitful. Ulitin ko, sabi ko sa inyo, to be fruitful is a function of the plant. So ever since I realized that I have been studying the plant, si Pastor Thomas told you kanina that I use the plant as a model to manage my business. We have a foundation called Simbinya sa Kinabuhi. We have a different way of managing our business. I use the Bible as my main reference. Whatever Bible says I will do, I also use the plant to manage my business. You know, I realized that the Chinese way is like a plant. You like to start small. Hinay-hinay mo dako. The Filipinos were different. We like to start big. And that's the reason why we always go bankrupt. We like borrowing money. The Chinese like to start small, like a plant. And so I have been studying the ways of the plant and using it. Why? Because I realized when God created us, the first thing He said, be fruitful. Sabi niya, you follow the ways of the plant. And it's amazing. Today, it's been amazing. In 1998, we moved from Manila to Bukidnon. I decided, so ako'y kwarta. The first house we had was a 20-foot container van, which I converted into a home. Our farm was all barren. It was all bugod. Today, it's a forest. Why? Because I've been following the ways of the plant. And amazing is, did not borrow money. I grew our business without borrowing money. The other group of people I've been studying are the Chinese. So I've been studying your ways and I have been imitating it. When I realized what being fruitful means, I became very excited. Kasi I realized what it means is I take the little that I have, more about simbinya, you know, seed, no? I take the little that I have, I work on it, I grow it, I first feed myself so that someday I will have more than enough. More than enough to even bless other people. So I got very, very excited about Christianity. Kasi sabi ko, dali lang pala na pinapagawa ni God. He's not asking me to bring people to Him because it's very difficult. He's asking me to take care of the little that I have and make it plenty so that I can be a blessing to others. And what used to turn me off about Christianity now became the driving force of my faith. In fact, today, I am here for this reason. I really asked God, ako lang, Dr. Elena and the family has been very, very good to me and my family. So I decided, whatever Dr. Elena tells me to go, I go, with no question. Pero I would ask him, why Dumaguete? Why Sigihor? Kalisod yun, di ba? But anyway, ako ba ng boss? So whenever she tells me to go, I go. And today, ito lang wish ko. As I share with you, I hope that I can share with you my fruits. What are my fruits? the things that I've learned, the things that come from inside, now these are things that I give away. You know what's nice about being fruitful? You give away the excess. You do not give away what you need. Yung sobra, ipamigay mo. And as I share this, you know, God is glorified. But what was the change in my heart? Why did I become excited about Christianity? Let me share with you some of the other things I learned about the plant and its fruit. Sabi ko sa inyo kanina, fruits, they come from inside, they go out. One of the things you have to understand, fruits are product of abundance. Ano product of abundance? You don't have to turn there, but Matthew 7:18 says, a good tree cannot produce bad fruit, nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. If you want to have a lot of good fruits, you must be a good tree. So it comes from abundance. And in our training sa Similya, I always say this, if you want a plant to be fruitful, do not focus on the fruit. Kasi fruit nga is a product of abundance kung saan na siyang magawas. Kung healthy ang tanong. And in business, I say the same thing. If you want a business to be profitable, do not focus on the profit. Because profit is a natural byproduct of a healthy business organization. So when the organization is healthy, fruits, they naturally come out. In fact, that's what I see in this church. You're basically good people. I like your kindness, I like your ways. However, if there is something wrong, if you're not living out your full potential, there's something wrong inside pa. That if we correct it, you will become very, very fruitful. One of the things I want you to understand about plants, and we should listen to this, branches, they do not produce fruits. Ulit ha? Branches do not produce fruits. This is what John chapter 15 verses 4 to 5 means. Let me read that. Sabi ng John 15, 4 to 5, abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself. Ulit ha? Branches do not produce fruits. Branches cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Sabi ko sa inyo, branches, they do not produce fruit. Bakit? It is the vine that produces fruits. It is the vine who makes food. Do you understand the concept of photosynthesis? My roots, my leaves. Pag may roots and leaves, there's water from the ground, carbon dioxide from the air, they mix in the leaves, and then you produce food. Branches have no roots. You understand what I'm saying? Branches have no roots. It cannot produce food. Kaya nga sabi, branches, they bear fruit. Ano bear? Magkarga lang siya. Are you following me? It is the vine that bears, it is the vine that produces the food that will ultimately become the fruit. It will give it to the branch that remains attached. If you remain attached, it will now let a branch carry the fruit. The Bible did not say, you are the vine, I am the vine, you are the branches, you better produce your fruit. The reason why people find it very, very frustrating to bear fruit is because we feel that it is our responsibility to produce fruits. You know, I have seen many pastors and missionaries burn out because they work so hard trying to bring people to the Lord, and yet only a few respond. Very frustrating, no? I know you have a lot of evangelistic campaign. You invite a lot of people. Pag nakadug na sila, simbahan, Kristiyano, utago tayo sila. Okay? Kasi they will be called a sinner and they will go to hell pag hindi sila member. I know of this pastor namin siya sa Sibilia. He studied to be a missionary for the Muslim people. and he went to this remote place. Sabi niya, yung church niya, he has to walk 2 hours to get to the church. And he would suffer. Pagdating sa simbahan, 3 lang ang tao. Hindi pa siya pinakain. So he went home, he was crying. Sabi niya, kalisod sa imong imabuhat sa ako. Okay? And he got very frustrated because he felt he failed the Lord. He did not produce fruit for the Lord. It is the vine, Jesus Christ, who will produce our fruit. If the vine will produce the fruit, what then are the responsibilities of the branches? In interpreting the Bible, I was taught by our church before that you should look for repeated words in order to understand the context of what you are reading. Can we read John chapter 15 verses 4 to 10? Okay, I'll be reading from my own version sa ESV, but you can follow in your own version. I will read, and what I want you to do is to check the repeated words because it holds the key to understanding what Jesus wants us to understand. Sabi ng verse 4, abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruits in itself unless it abides in the vine, so neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine and you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him, he bears much fruit. For apart from me you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away as a branch and dries up. They gather them and cast them into the fire and they are burned. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. Just as the Father has loved me, I have also loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandment, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandment and abide in His love. Verse 11 has a special meaning to me kasi it changed my life. Noong una, takot ako sa concept of bearing fruit because I was afraid to be burned. Look at verse 11. Sabi niya, these things I have spoken to you, that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be made full. In that verse, Jesus was saying, I want you to enjoy life. And you need to be fruitful. So naisip ko, kung takot ako masulog, I am not enjoying life. So there is something about this concept that hindi natin naiintindihan. The concept should give us joy, not fear. The concept should make us enjoy Christianity. So let me share with you some of the things that I've seen. From the verses you read, what was the word repeated again and again? Abide or remain. Di ba? It was repeated 10 times in 8 verses. 10 times in 8 verses. But before I explain what abide means, according to verse 5, the branch that remains attached, yun ibig sabihin, abide, attached, will bear much fruit. Bakit? Kasi makakuha siya ng nutrients from the vine. And I want you to understand, as I understand plants today, a vine dresser will not unnecessarily cut a branch. He wants to maintain all the branches, but he will prune the branches. You understand that? I will not cut off the main branch, but I will prune it. In fact, verse 2 says, every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Ano sinasabi? Every branch that does not bear fruit, ibig sabihin, yung mga branches na hindi nakakakuha ng nutrients. Ano ibig sabihin hindi nakakakuha ng nutrients? Let me show you again verse 6. Can you go to verse 6? Sabi niya, if anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like a branch. Who decided na dili nakakonect yung branch? Who decided? Sabi niya, if you do not abide in me, ikaw ang nagpalayo. The reason you cannot bear fruit is ikaw ang nagpalayo. So what will the vine dresser do? He will just take out because it is not connected.